Hi everyone, I'm Will Tuft, Product Manager at Eyecon, and today I just wanted to go through some of the exciting features and updates that you're going to find in the latest version of your Eyecon software. So if you are currently on version 19 or on version 20.1, you want to make sure that you have been updated to version 20.2. Now you may notice that I'm already on 20.5, and that's because I'm already testing new features and updates that our dev team is working on for the next release. So lots of exciting improvements coming to an already amazing platform, and really excited about these improvements. So let's jump in and look at some of the changes that you're going to see in the 20.2 version that is available for your update currently. This is my email here on the screen, so if you do have any questions or comments or just want some more information or clarification, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not familiar with Eyecon and somehow you found your way to this video, I'd also love to hear from you. So fire over an email and let's talk about it. Let's jump in with the updates here on 20.2. So again, the initial release was 20.1. We pushed out an immediate release after that the same day. So you should all be on 20.2 if you're already set up for automatic updates, or if you're manually updating, make sure that you are on version 20.2. Now let's jump into some of the feature releases here since the 19 version. So the first half of the screen, we have a lot of talk about OPV. OPV is finally rolling out here very soon, and the features that will be required to make that happen are already on your Eyecon if you're on the current version. So really excited about that. We're going to have some announcements later about how you can enroll in the OPV platform if you want to utilize that on your Eyecon 9430. So you do have to have the color cameras on the 9430 to take advantage of that. I'm going to show you a quick overview of OPV at the end of this video, but for now, let's go ahead and skip down to the funnel detection and camera improvements. So we had some great functionality improvements to the funnel detection in the last release, and I just wanted to revisit that because we've made even more improvements to help make that funnel detection even more reliable. Let's jump into the settings menu and see how you can take advantage of this feature. If we go down to the color cameras, again, this is on the 9430. We want to scroll down here, and we have a couple different options. Funnel tray checking, let's turn that to enabled. Funnel checking post accumulate, let's turn that to enabled. And then funnel view while counting, enabled. Okay, so these are the three options that are going to allow you to take advantage of the funnel detection in different ways. Let's start by going to count only and see what this is going to look like. So I'm just going to jump into account only, quickly scan pour my items out, and pour a couple down the funnel. And since we have our funnel detection turned on, we're actually able to see those in live view. And we have two different options that we're seeing here. So this funnel not empty is keeping us from advancing. The finish button is grayed out. And that's that first option that we talked about. This is the live funnel view. So you can have one of these, you can have both of these. I obviously am a fan of having both of those turned on, as well as that third option for post accumulate. So you can see that live view if we actually empty the funnel. And now we have the option to continue since that funnel is empty. So I also wanted to show you very quickly how you can calibrate that funnel if you are having any issues with that. We'll go back over to the settings screen and down to color cameras, and we have the option to calibrate funnel. So this is going to allow the system to actually take a look at that funnel area and capture a clean image so we know what to compare it to when you have something in the funnel. So now we can see this red rectangle is pretty well centered right where it should be. Now, in the event that your red rectangle is over here to the side or is just not quite aligned, You can move that back into location here using these arrows and make sure that it's centered up pretty well. You can also use the auto rectangle tool, and this is going to allow the system to go ahead and analyze that area and position that rectangle where it should be. You shouldn't need to change the size, but we do have these controls here as well. So let's go ahead and select OK. And so now we have our funnel calibrated, and we also have our funnel detection turned on. So we've also added some other features here that you may see. So system communication and updates, we've added a PowerShell network test under the remote server settings to simplify troubleshooting. That sounds great, but let's see what that actually does for us. If we go over to remote server, this is where you can have the server IP. Generally, this is going to be your software, your pharmacy software management server IP address and the port number for communication. And we've just made it a little bit easier to perform a test from the Eyecon without exiting and going into some of the Windows tools to perform that connection test. So one click is going to perform that test and let you know if the Eyecon is able to communicate with the IP address and that port. The next option that we see here is an automatic remote endpoint response feature for improved connection reliability. So what does this mean? This is actually going to give us a unique ability to better respond to different servers. So let's take a look at an example here. So currently, the Eyecon can be used in a central fill scenario. So if you have multiple different pharmacies that are writing to a central fill location, whether that's for adherence packaging or a special inventory group, or if you're just taking your medication synchronization fills off-site, this is going to allow you to write to the Eyecon. Now, in this instance, we have our remote server IP address entered, just like we saw in this example that we could test. Now, we also have a new feature that's going to expand that ability to reply not only to this server IP address, but if you're on version 20.2, the Eyecon now has the ability to actually record the IP address that the server who sent the message is coming from, and then reply to that server. So now you can see the images and the workflow updates at each individual store, even if you're not using a central database like a central office solution, we're still able to reply to those unique stores if you set the remote server IP address to 1.2.3.4. And this just tells the Eyecon to listen to the IP from the sent message and send the reply to that same IP address. So really, really helpful tool if you're using a central fill solution in your pharmacy. Now, I do want to note that if you were on 19.1 and you sent those prescriptions over to the Eyecon, those prescriptions aren't going to have that response address recorded. So you want to make sure that you run all of those through workflow. So if you're just updating to 20.2, then you may want to wait a couple days before you try this remote server IP solution. But again, going to make it really easy for the server to receive that information at each location when you have a fill on your Eyecon. So really exciting new feature here. The next new feature that we saw, let's back up here, were some user experience and interface improvements. So along with the performance and stability improvements, these are going to be updates that just improve the operation of the Eyecon. So mostly behind the scenes, but hopefully you're going to notice a little bit quicker response and a little bit smoother transactions on your 9420s and 9430s. Also wanted to point out a couple other tools, one of which is just moving some things around to make it a little bit easier to add a remote scanner. So if you do have an external scanner that you want to utilize, This would be a DS9208. This is sold from Motorola, Symbol, also from Zebra, but it does have to be the DS9208. We just made it a little bit easier for you to utilize an external scanner. Some people prefer the wider field of view on the external scanners. And there is a little bit of a process. You just have to scan a barcode and change a setting on the Eyecon itself. Very easy to do, and if you want more information on that, feel free to reach out, send me an email, and I can walk you through that. It's super easy, and a lot of our pharmacies are finding success with that. So now let's jump in and take a look at OPV. So OPV is something that we've been working on behind the scenes for quite a while, because all of our Eyecons use the infrared image, and that is the black and white annotated image. That is the Eyecon proprietary technology. We're also expanding that functionality using those color cameras with the OPV. Now, optical pill verification is going to make sure that not only do you have the correct number of pills and the barcode scanned, this is also going to allow you to compare the coloration of the pills. So a lot tighter tolerances on size, shape, also color and markings. So let's see what this looks like. Again, there is a registration process that we'll be releasing some information on soon. But I just wanted to show you a quick preview and what this can actually look like. Some of you have been able to see this firsthand at the trade shows. So if you do see us at a booth at a trade show somewhere, come by it. I'd love to show you in person. But let's take a look. So we'll begin by scanning the 2D barcode. Again, we're just in count only mode. Okay, and if I pour these out on the platter, we can see we have our quantity of 120. Now it's performing OPV. So OPV is actually analyzing the color and the shape of the pills. And so if I add something that doesn't match, the Eyecon can actually identify that difference, even though they have the exact same color, the exact same size and shape. That difference in color is going to be picked up, and the Eyecon is notifying. So you may also notice just then when I double clicked, that's another improvement that we've made behind the scenes. Previously, if you double clicked, it would just zoom in and wasn't necessarily zooming in where you clicked. So another small improvement there that I'm really excited about. But again, we can see this pill is the exact same pill, exact same size. I just colored with a marker on one side to showcase that color detection is picking up a difference in pills. So with the red and green, we do understand that some people with vision issues may have trouble distinguishing between those two. So you also have some different color schemes that you can choose from to allow those to be more readily identifiable. And also note that the system is capturing this picture as well. So if we select accept, the system is going to let us know that obviously I added a pill, but it's also going to let us know that there was a suspect pill on the tray. So if I choose accept, we see this alert letting us know that there's a suspect pill we can examine and then decide if we want to continue. And of course, this image is also going to be stored with all of the other images that you're used to seeing anytime you perform a transaction on your Eyecon, and of course delivered back to your pharmacy management system. So really excited about the upcoming release of OPV. Again, if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out, and I'd love to show it to you in person if I happen to see you on one of the trade show floors. Now, from the trade show, I do get a number of questions, and I wanted to take this video as an opportunity to show one of the features that you may not be using on both the 9420 and the 9430. So if we go into barcode, there is an option here for stock item barcodes for RX filling, prompt for data if 1D is scanned, and we also have a similar setting for inventory counts. So in this case, this is referring to the difference, and of course this is my test bottle here, the difference in the 2D barcode or the 1D barcode. And so I've had a couple people ask, it seems that we're not recording lot and expiration when we're filling on the Eyecon, and that can be because you're scanning that barcode. So let's see what happens now. Again, if we scan the 2D barcode, of course, we record the lot, expiration, the serial number, all of that information. Now, if we were to scan the 1D barcode, this, of course, is giving us our NDC verification, but it's also now going to prompt, since we didn't capture the lot information from the 2D barcode, we're getting that additional prompt to go ahead and manually enter that information. So if we can go ahead and enter this, then we have our opportunity to enter the lot and expiration manually. So just a helpful feature. Again, that was back under settings and barcode, and you have the option stock item barcodes for RX filling and for inventory, and you have the option to allow 1D barcodes with no warnings or prompt for that information. So that's a quick overview of the features that you'll see in version 20.2, a quick preview of the OPV feature that is forthcoming, and I'm really excited about everything else that our dev team is working on behind the scenes right now, again, to improve the already amazing Eyecon products. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll see you here very soon.